equals. I'm not going to give you the inequalities. All that's got to be made up on you guys. All right, so here we go. Let's hop right into it. A little linear. It sounds like almost computer science, but it's not. All right, here you go. So we got a student. Student can earn 10 hours, $10 an hour tutoring, and they can do $7 being a teacher's aide. I've already told you guys what X and Y are going to be. X are going to be the number of hours you spend tutoring, and Y is going to be the number of hours you are a teacher's aide. So what I want to do first is write the objective, basically how much money you're going to make. All right, how much money you're going to make being a teacher's aide and a tutor. And that's your Z equals here. I want always to start off with that Z equals, called your objective function again, the objective function. So if I make $10 an hour tutoring, what am I going to call that? How am I going to represent that? 10 times X, the number of hours you spend tutoring. So 10X plus $7 an hour being a teacher's aide. So we're going to put that with 7Y. And the goal is, and this is our goal of every problem, what's the max amount of money I can make here? All right, because you can't do this. Well, you know what? I'm going to work 40 hours tutoring and 20 hours being a teacher's aide. It doesn't work like that. Now what you have are your restrictions. All right, here are your restrictions. So summarizing this whole process, guys, how much most money you can make with the following restrictions. All right, that's what I want to end up finding here at the end of this problem. So to have enough time for studies, you can work no more than 20 hours per week. Help me make an inequality for that one. No more than 20 hours per week working. Gabby.
Would you just put an inequality?
This is going to be an inequality with what?
20 and then 10x plus 7.
Whoa, don't include the money, right? X and Y are the number of hours, right? X and Y are the number of hours. So I just want X and Y by themselves. So the amount of time you spend tutoring plus the amount of time you spend being a teacher's aide, you can't do more than 20. What symbol am I going to put there? No more than 20 hours. Think about it as money in your pocket. No more than $20 in your pocket. Less than or equal to 20. So there's your first inequality. But there's more restrictions. Keep reading. Tutoring center requires that each tutor spend at least 3 hours a week tutoring. So you got to do at least 3. So what variable do I need here first? Well, variable X, right? Because I'm only talking about tutoring. And what are you going to put there if you have to do at least 3 hours a week tutoring? Greater than or equal to 3. One more restriction. And that is the tutoring center requires no tutors can spend more than 8 hours a week tutoring. All right. Again, what variable do I need? Still need X because we're tutoring. But now they're saying you can't spend more than 8. What's my inequality? Less than or equal to with the 8. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Our answer's going to vary.
No.
Depending on. So
Nope.
There's only one answer.
One correct answer here. Okay. So here's what I'm asking. Making $10 an hour, tutoring $7 an hour, being a teacher's aide, and knowing these restrictions, what's the max amount of money you can make, and how many hours tutoring and being a teacher's aide will happen. Okay, so that's what I'm asking. You guys just did the new part. You just did the new part. Now this is the last 2 days. Graph them, shade them, find the figure, and give me the points so I can plug it into Z. All right, so that's our job right now. Graph all 3 of them. Let me know where that shaded region is going to be. Remember, we keep it to quadrant 1. You're not going to work a negative amount of hours, right? So keep it to quad 1. What was that first one there? X plus Y less than or equal to 20. And then we need to talk here. Once you guys find your intercepts for that one, we're going to have to talk. So hopefully you're going. I'd like you to graph this one first and not the others, please, because something's going to happen here, I believe. So find your X and Y intercepts for these so I can talk to you about your graph. Are you guys finding both your X and Y intercepts are 20? All right, I wanted you to do that first because I believe, and maybe I counted wrong, but I don't think you have 20 of these on the X and the Y axis. Okay, I don't think it goes as high as 20. I think it's less than 20 markings I gave you on there. Right? Everyone agree? Yeah? So I can't fit 20 if I go by one, so we all right going by twos here? Everyone comfortable going by twos? If you go by twos, make sure you tell me you're going by twos. Just label a couple like 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. All right. So I know you're going by twos and not ones. Where's 20 going to be? 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 20. 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Hopefully at this point you guys know what you're going to do for shading. All right, looking at the calculator, I believe you shade to the left of this line. So
On the test, you have to label our lines, right?
I'd like you to, but I'll be honest, I'm not going to be looking for it.
Will you do that?
I will not. Okay? I will not. If you forget about it. What's going on? You should be shading to the left or to below, however you want to call it, to the line. You probably put it greater than or equal to. All right. Now I don't need to help you guys do the other ones, right? Those should be 2 vertical lines. X is greater than or equal to 3, and X is less than or equal to 8. Those should be 2 vertical lines for you guys. We got 3 halfway in between here. And 8. See where your solution is. And then we'll move on. Everyone's got our solution up there before we go points now. Everyone's got was all the regions intersect on your shading. Okay, so I should have 4 points now. You're going to give me. There's 4 corners on this figure. It's a 4-sided figure, so I should have 4 points. And I know this may drive some of you nuts because you went by 2. But remember, I'm going to remind you guys again how you can check if you got the right point or not. Can we go with these 2 down here, which should be the easiest of the 2 right here? The 2 on the x-axis. What are your points here? Definitely what? 3, 0 and 8, 0. Yep. So those are two we're going to check and plug into our Z function. All right, now here we go. All right, I know some of you guys called me over yesterday. It was a little bit tough, but we got through it. Let's talk about this point right here. What do you think? We definitely the x coordinate should be an issue, right? It's got to be on 3 because it's on x equals 3. So 3 shouldn't be the issue. And then what do you think about the y coordinate? 17? Maybe you think it's 18, 15. But you know from the diagonal line, it's got to add up to what? A 20. So if you already have 3 there, the y coordinate has to be, is everyone all right that way? That's how you can check. It's got to add up to 20 according to that diagonal line. Ooh, how about the other one? Definitely 8, right? And then now you don't even have to think about it. It's got to add up to 20, so that's got to be?
Is it 6 for the x-axis? For the x point?
6? I thought you graphed 8, though. Isn't this x equals 8? Isn't it x? It's x equals 8, right? You should have graphed. All right, so it should be 8 comma. Got to add the 20. 8, 12, yep. Now I go back to the z equals, and I plug those in. And I should get 4 values of z, and then we'll answer the problem once I do. Nope. Make sure our z equals match here. Make sure they match. And now let's answer the question. First, what's the most amount of money you can make? You can only make, the most amount of money you're going to make is $164. So we'll put that down here. The maximum money that the student can earn is 164. And then how do you do that? How many hours do you have to work tutoring? What variable was that again? X. And what was my X coordinate at 164? So you got to do 8 hours of tutoring and 12 hours being a teacher's aide. Under these, that's what we just saw. You want to make the most amount of money. Well, it's going to be $164, but to do it, you got to do 8 hours of tutoring and 12 hours as a teacher's aide. All right, that's the max amount of money you can make. Guys, any issues there? Today's going to be a longer of a day because I got 3 problems instead of our usual 2 here, but all good. Now, hey, this one, I separated it all for you. Nice, beautiful. Do this part, then do this part. Now it's bam. Here you go. All in one paragraph. All right, all in one paragraph here. But now you guys know the format we're looking for. Oh, landscapers in the house. Landscapers? No?
Yeah.
Grant, all right, right up your alley, big dog. You ready?
Yeah.
We're going to mow some lawns and prune some shrubs. All right? Isn't that, I cut the, right, pruning shrubs, right, Grant? Yeah, I get those big scissors and go Edward Scissorhands on those, right? All right, here you go. Company schedules. It's good. Hey, ready? Takes an hour to mow a lawn. 3 hours to prune. Each crew, you cannot do any more than 2 prune jobs. That doesn't sound right when I say that. All right, a day. What else do I have? Each crew is scheduled to set up. You can only work 9 hours a day. And here's your charge. So here's what we're looking for. I want to make the max amount under these conditions. So how many lawns do I have to mow? How many how many shrubs do I have to prune? All right, that's what the question is. What's the most amount of money I can make, and how many of each do I have to do? So let's start out with our z function. Our z equals, which is going to, what do we want to find? The max amount of money, right? The max amount of money. probably before we do that, we should probably say what x and y is going to be equal to, huh? X will be, let's go, x equals what? Number of lawns, number of mows. And we'll put y as the number of prunes. That doesn't, we're not actually finding a number of prunes. What do you want to call this one? Prunings. I have no idea if that's spelled right. I don't even care. Looks good. All right, so max out the money for me. What's that z equals going to look like? Mowing, what do we charge? 40, right? So 40x plus, 120. It's a lot of shrubs. It's a lot of money for a shrub. All right, so we got that. All right, now ready for our restrictions. Ready for our restrictions, which are our inequalities for this one.
I don't know. I totally just can't see you were the landscape.
We ready? You can't do more than 2 prune jobs a day. I do this every year and I feel the same way. Slimy. I do. What are we going to represent for that one? Only y, right? Only y. And no more than 2. No more than 2. Less than or equal to 2. And there's going to be one more inequality here because what do you know about hours a day we work? Maximum of 9, right? Maximum of 9. But I do tell you how long it's going to take to mow a lawn and to prune a shrub. All right, because I just don't want to put x plus y and 9. That's the number of ones we're doing, right? So how long does it take us to mow? 1 hour. So I'm just going to keep that as x. Plus, I don't want to put y because it doesn't take us an hour to prune a shrub. How long does it take? So it's going to be x plus 3y. Everyone's seeing that. X plus 3y, number of hours. 1 hour for a mow plus 3 hours for a prune. Maximum of 9. Still need an inequality. Less than or equal to 9. And now we've taken care of, we don't put the money with anything. The money is strictly for our z equals. So there's all the restrictions now. You ready to go? Any questions on those? Okay. There's only 2 to graph, and 1 is pretty easy. The y is less than or equal to 2. I would find your intercepts, though. Find your intercepts.
Okay, I'll let you just try this.
9 and 3. Okay, so we can get away with going by ones, no problem. You guys might be the most annoying group I've ever had in class. You're almost not there yet, but almost annoying. As like 2 or 3 years ago, I had a group of girls in the table, like literally since February, every day would talk about the ball house they were getting, and I just lost it one day. Yeah, almost there, Goof Troop, almost there. Okay, everyone's getting that shaded region good. I'll be honest with everyone, you should easily get 3 out of the 4 points here. Okay, 3 out of the 4 points should be very easy. The 4th point there we'll talk about. Everyone's got 0, 0. Don't forget about that. That is a point on here. 0, 0. What else do we have over there? 9, 0. Definitely also what? 0, 2. 0, 2. Yeah, 0, 2. And I'm going to need help with this one right here, though. How about this bad boy right here? It's definitely got 2 as their y, right? Because it's on y equals 2. Definitely has 2 as the y. What do you think? 3, 2, or 4, 2?
3, 2.
Okay, and then hey, again, let's do this again. Even if you're sure it's a 3 or 2, let's say it's 3. Ready? 3 plus 2, 3 times 2. Yeah, that gives me 9. Okay, 3 plus 6 gives me 9. So plug right here. I plugged it into this one right here. 3 plus 3 times 2. That gives me 9. So I got the right coordinate. Where are we losing you here? We all right or not? Where are we? Why that coordinate's 3, 2? How I checked it?
I got 5, 2. How? We both did.
5, 1, 2, 3, 4, right up here.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
It looked right on Ash.
Okay, yeah, all right, great. But hey, if I plug in 5, 2, I'm going to get 11.
Yeah.
I got 9, right? So that's why you got to check that. All right, that's why you got to check.
They're the same. They're the same. They're the same. They're the same. They're the same.
All right, well, hey, what are we finding out? Oh, shocker. You don't do anything, you don't get any money. Right, there's a shocker. 9, 0, you make $360. 0, 2, you make $240. And 3, 2, you also make $360. All right, sorry I don't have any fill in the blanks, but you are going to have to write a little statement at the bottom for me. Telling me, all right. And we only care about maxes here with these problems. I don't care about minimums here. Max amount of $360 if, this is the part I'm really interested in, if you do what? There's 2 different scenarios you can get 360. Give me one. If you do what? 9 mows. All right. 9 lawns mowed. Thank you. All right. If 9 lawns mowed, or how else can you make 360? Or 3 lawns mowed and I'm not even going to ask. Put whatever you want to put for that.
Prunations.
I'm just going to put and 2 shrubs pruned. Usually, there'll only be 1 instance to get a max, but here we could have done 2 different ones. Questions before we go on to the final one? I told you it's a little bit longer of a day here because I didn't feel like 2 made you great. All good. The only reason I'm doing this 3rd one, I wanted to do one without money. And just because I know money automatically goes into the z equals, well, what if there is no money? Like this one. All right. Cool, multiple choice test. There we go. 6 points each for computation and word problems worth 10 points. Nice. You guys can read through this. You can do a computation in 2 minutes and a word problem in 4. You have 40 minutes. You can't answer more than 12. Wow. And by the way, you can score over 100, so I don't have any arguments at the end of this problem. All right, you can score over 100. What's your max score? Okay, what's your max score going to be, and how many of each do you need to answer? All right, what are we trying to maximize? Our score. So that's going to be our Z. Tell me something about your score. Oh, I did it again. Let X equal, let Y equals. I get too hopped up here. What do you want X to equal? I don't want to say a word during this problem. Okay, number of computation problems. You got it. What do you want to let Y equal then? The number of word problems it is. And remember, we're trying to maximize your score now. So what's Z going to be here? Z equals. What do I attach with the X and the Y here? I want to maximize the score. How many points can you get for computation? All right, so 6X plus 10Y. Here you go. That's how we want to maximize our scores. Ready for the restrictions now.
Why do you do that?
What do you got for me? Are you sure? Can I move on? Thank you. Okay. Glad I got your permission here. Restriction. You tell me what's I'll help you put it into inequality form. What's a restriction I have?
You only have 40 minutes.
Only 40 minutes to do it. All right, I can't take more than 40 minutes. But I don't want to put X plus Y equals 40, right? It takes a certain amount of time to do a computation and a certain amount of time to do a word problem. How long does it take to do a computation? 2 minutes. Plus, how long does it take you to do a word problem? 4 minutes. But minutes total again, Gabby, how much can I spend?
40.
I only can spend 40. What's my inequality symbol? Less than? Can I spend 40?
Or equal to.
Yep. There's restriction number 1 with the minutes. I think there's one more restriction we got to take care of. What else does it tell you? Can't answer more than 12. What's that going to look like? X plus Y less than or equal to 12. All right, here we go. Only 2. Check your intercepts out. I don't know if you have to go by 2s or not, but check your intercepts out first for both of them. Looks like we're going to run out of room going by 1s already. Is anybody else in agreement? The more you listen to this group, the more your IQ goes down. All right, and I don't get this time back in my life again either.
It's Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grant's the leader.
I think on the x-axis, you got to go by 2s at least. If you want to go by 2s on the y's, you can. It's not required that both axes match. So that's your call. If you are going by something other than ones, you do need to show me. 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20.
You should do a shot.
5, 7.
Because I don't know if he was like, I can't tell where my Oh wait.
Wouldn't fit. It can't be. Yeah, right. It can't be 4, 7 because it's got to be 12. Now you're picking it up. Good. All right. Let's talk shaded region. It should not have been between these little sections here because you shaded both of these down, right? You should have shaded both of them down. So that does. There's no way it could be in here or here. It's got to be right here. This is where your shaded regions overlap each other. All right, looks like 4 points again. 3 of them are pretty easy. The fourth one, we'll see. 0, 0. What do we got over there? That was what on the x-axis? 10? No, 12? 12, 0, everybody? Yep, 12, 0. All right, what about the one on the y-axis there? That was 0, 10. All right, what about the controversial one there? This bad boy right here. Remember, it's got to add up to 12 according to your inequality. 4, 8. Yep. If you don't answer anything, there's a shocker. You get a 0. If you do 12, all the computational problems, but no word problems, you're going to get 100. Nope, sorry, not get 100. My bad. I'm out of order. You're only going to get a 72. If you do 10 word problems and that's it, you'll get 100. But if you do 4 and 8, you get 104. All right, little statement down here. Get a max score of 104 if you answer. What's the 4 represent again? 4 computational problems. And 8 word problems. Hey, be proud, happy of yourself. You're doing some pre-calc right here. All right? This is a pre-calculus topic. Be proud of yourselves here.